Good evening, everyone. In today's session of Management of Financial Service, I'm just going to explain in a brief manner what are the topics which are going to appear in your internal examination. So the purpose of today's video is to do a brief revision on Unit 1 and Unit 2 so that you all can actually focus on important topics which are very important from the internal examination point of view. So in this session, I am going to revise briefly. I'm not going to go into details because I have already made all the videos regarding all the topics from Unit 1 and Unit 2. If you all have any doubt in any of the topic, you can refer my videos, you can go through the notes which I have given. So this is just a brief revision, and I'm going to basically tell you that what are the topics which are important from the for the internal examination. Okay, so let's begin the session. So in first unit, you first of all have the financial system, or you can also call it as environment of financial service and financial market. See, the financial system consists of various elements, which I have explained in financial concepts. There are six important concepts which together constitute the financial system, which together create the financial system. So financial system basically is a proper environment for the growth of financial service sector and financial market. So why these things are considered to be necessary from the organization point of view, or from the point of view of a country also? Because the financial system needs to be very strong, it needs some kind of transparency, and each and everything needs to be very clear, specific, proper rules and regulation must be there, so that the companies, the big corporate houses, they can easily get finance for doing their business or starting the company, in operation of the company, growth, expansion. So this will help the entire country in various ways. It will generate jobs, it will provide consumers variety of choices, different types of products and services, and these things actually depend upon the financial system. So if when getting finance becomes easy for the companies, then there is a industrial growth, or more and more number of companies will start doing a business, start a new type of business, and for that reason financial system is very necessary. So that's why a proper environment needs to be created for growth of financial services and financial market. So that is the financial system. So what are the basic functions of financial system? First of all, provision of liquidity, mobilization of fund, then the size of the security, risk involved in the securities, as well as the maturity. These are the five important functions of the financial system. Mobilizing or provision of liquidity means every company needs to get some liquid, or we can say needs to get some liquid assets so that they can continue their business. So that liquidity needs to be available for the company, and that is provided by the financial system, and they do it by mobilization of funds or mobilization of savings. See, every person, every company, institution, they have certain amount of savings with them, and they are looking for good opportunities and instruments so that they can invest those funds in those instruments, and they can also get some kind of benefit out of it. Okay, so it is the, we can say, it is one of the function of the financial system to provide different varieties of security, so that saving the amount sorry mobilization of saving can take place. People living in different parts of the country can invest in various types of security, any type of security. So these are the important functions of financial system, and it also creates basic rules and regulations for operations in financial market, types of financial service and other things. Then comes financial concept. There are six important concepts of financial system, like financial assets, financial intermediaries, financial instrument, financial rate of return, financial services, and then comes financial markets. So these are the six important concepts which together constitute the financial system. So from this topic, the most important part is the financial concept. Basically, the financial instrument portion and the financial market portion, these are very important. I have clearly explained what are the two categories of financial market: money market, capital market. Then I have also mention different categories under each type of market. Means there are different categories under capital market, different categories under financial market. So from the internal examination point of view, financial concepts are extremely important. Okay. And the next topic that I have explained is the difference between money market and capital market. So this is also to be considered very important, because money market is meant for raising finance for a very short time period, but whereas capital market is meant for raising finance for a very long time period. Means they can repay the money within a very long time period. So that is the basic difference between money market and capital market. There are many other differences also, and this is also a very important topic of first unit. Then comes money market. Money market, like I said, it is the financial market for raising short-term finances. There are different types of instruments available, and there are different types of money market also. Instruments means treasury bills, repo instruments, interbank, or there are different types of commercial papers. These are the different types of instruments. Certificate of deposit, interbank participation certificate, call money. These are the various types of instruments, and each and every instrument is important. In each and every type of instrument, I have explained what does it actually mean, what are the features, and basically I have also explained the rules and regulations created by RBI for specific instruments. What is treasury bills? What are the various types of treasury bills? So these are extremely important. The instruments of money market. Okay. Then comes capital market. Capital market, like I said, it is the market which is meant for raising long-term loans or issuing securities for a long time period. So here also the important elements are components of capital market, like new issue market and secondary market. In new issue market, the securities are issued for the first time, and after getting issued for the first time, and again they are purchased and sold, that is conducted under the secondary market. So for each and every instrument, they have a primary market as well as a secondary market. Then comes instrument. There are different types of instrument under capital market: equity shares, preference shares, bonds, debentures, and each and every type of security has different categories. Like equity shares, they are one category of instrument. Equity shareholders are also termed as the real owners of the company because they bear the risk. They do not have a fixed rate of dividend. They have residual claim over assets. They have residual claim over profit. Preference shares, there are different types of preference shares. Like that, there are debentures, convertible, non-convertible debentures. So these are the different types of debentures and bonds, and instruments of both capital market and money market are extremely important for your first internal. Okay. Now these topics I have explained in very briefly. Like I said, I have already given videos related to all the topics in detail. So if you have any doubt regarding that, you can go through the video. You can contact me so that your doubts can be easily cleared. Okay. In the second unit, I have explained the capital structure decision. So capital structure means the combination of debt and equity, and how an organization decides which portion needs to be larger, which portion needs to be smaller. That depends upon the company, the size of the company, the nature of the business, how the company is affected by various factors. So the capital structure decision is very important, because on basis of that, they decide what would be the debt and equity ratio. Because raising debt has different advantages as well as disadvantages. In the same way, equity financing also has equity financing also has advantages and disadvantages. So they have to keep in mind the benefits of both the aspects as well as the negative aspects of both debt and equity financing, and then decide a ratio which will prove to be beneficial for the company. So like that, there are different kinds of capital structure: horizontal, vertical, pyramid, inverse pyramid. There are 4 types of capital structure. Then comes capital principles of capital structure, like risk control. These are the basic principles which needs to be focused while taking the decision regarding capital structure. And then comes factor influencing capital structure. There are various types of factors which influence the capital structure decision, whether it is trading on equity, whether it is the control aspect of the organization. Means if the company prefers to go for equity financing, then definitely there will be dilution of control. But if they go for debt financing, there will be no dilution of control. Like that, there are many, around 15, 14 to 15 or 10 to 15 factors which has major influence over the decision regarding capital structure. So in the second unit, the most important, or in capital structure decision, the important topic is factors influencing capital structure. Principles are also important, kinds of capital structure are important, but the factors are very important from the internal examination point of view. So you all need to go through that thoroughly so that you can easily understand what are the various factors and how they influence the capital structure decision. Then comes new issue market. Like I said, new issue market means whenever a security is issued for the very first time, they are issued in the new issue market. So each and every type of security has a new issue market, or we can also call it as primary market. And after getting issued in the primary market, when again they are purchased or sold, that is conducted under the secondary market. So there are three major functions of new issue market: originator, underwriter. So there are three important functions, and then comes merit and demerits. So functions of new issue market are extremely important. And the most important topic is methods of floating new issue. There are four methods of floating new issue. First one is through public issue, then private placement, offer for sale, and right issue. So each and every type of method, each and every method is different from another. They have different rules and regulation features. Like right issues is basically made to the existing shareholders of the organization, whereas public issue is made for everyone. Private placement means only a selected people will get the opportunity to purchase the uh, shares. So these are the different types or different methods of floating new issue, and this is the most important topic in new issue market, because it is, these are not just four methods, but these each and every individual method has various aspects, whether it is regarding rules and regulations, whether it is regarding the steps of issuing the security. So each and every method needs to be considered very important, and SEBI guidelines, the basic procedure, each and every point of SEBI guidelines are extremely important, and you have to write down as I have mentioned in the notes, because you cannot modify the guidelines, because these guidelines are created by SEBI and they need to be followed the way it is created. And if some companies do not follow the guidelines, they won't be even getting a chance for issuing the security. Okay. So after that, I have explained the procedural aspect of these four methods: IPO, private placement, right issues, and offer for sale. So procedural aspect simply means what is the step-by-step procedure. So in IPO, in public issue, they have to create a prospectus. In the prospectus, they have to mention the name of the company, registrar office, address, each and every element related to the issue, the size of the issue, the pricing of the issue. So they have to mention all that in prospectus, and then they have to send the prospectus. They have to means they will accept the application from the people who are interested in purchasing their share. Then they have to allot shares to them, and they have to also refund if they have over subscription. So these are the various steps, and there are different rules and regulations within those steps also, which each and every organization needs to follow when they are going for IPO. Then same way, private placement, right issue, and offer for sale also have different types of steps, different steps which they have to follow in order to go for these types of uh, methods of raising funds. Then comes regulations. Regulations are important because these are the SEBI guidelines. These are the terms and conditions which each company, each organization needs to follow if they want to use any of these methods, whether it is IPO, private placement, or right issue. So there are separate guidelines for every aspect. Okay. So each and every organization has to follow, and if they do not follow, the SEBI will not give them proper permission to issue securities. And the last one is prospectus. Prospectus, like I said, while issuing new securities, sorry, while going for IPO, they have to create a prospectus and they have to mention all the details of the companies, and they have to also disclose all the details of the issue also, like the important dates, the number of days within which the application forms will be accepted, the number of days within which the shares will be allotted to the applicants. So these are the various aspects which are very important and which are needed to be mentioned in prospectus. Okay, so these are the topics that I have explained in unit 1 and unit 2. I have just given a brief uh, idea about these topics. I haven't gone through in detail because I have, like I said, I have already made the videos. I am just going to tell what are the important topics within this. So first of all, the regulations of IPO, regulations regarding the methods of issuing, new securities, like the SEBI guidelines and other regulations. These are extremely important for the internal examination because you have to study that thoroughly point by point, and then the steps. So these two are extremely important. So questions will definitely come from these two categories or these two topics. Okay. So like I said, today's class is all about giving you a brief idea about what you're supposed to study in your internal examination. And I have explained all, I have mentioned all the topics which are very important in the first from the sorry which are very important for your first internal examination. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope everybody uh, would appear the internal examination. You also need to know how well you have studied and how well you have performed. So I would ask each and every student to appear the internal examination. Try to have good internet connection during that time so that you won't be left out. Okay, so that's it for today. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.